So we got the red light special going on tonight. Do you know why? Do you know why? Gypsy Rose is the devil. I'm telling you. Satan, bitch. Or some kind of derivative off of Satan. Do you know what I'm saying? He has some kind of play on what she does. I'm telling you. She is a bitch. How's everybody doing on YouTube today? Hello, how are ya? I'm Babygurl, and I'm here. And I'm here to talk to my family. I'm here to talk to family. Oh, I don't know if I said welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I do a lot. Anyway, I'm such a moron. Anyways, I do Gypsy Rose videos a lot. I do a lot. I'm going to say it again, third time. A lot of content on Gypsy Rose. And it's just because it's, like I said, a never-ending fucking law. Okay? We do have some announcements to make over here. I'm going to start scheduling my lives. And I'm going to get, it all organized over there so that you guys will know when to expect me going live. I didn't have my microphone turned the right way. Sorry about that. I'm going to do that so that you guys, I hope, are you guys able to look at the schedule for the lives or whatever? I hope so. Because I wanted to do that to make sure that you guys can look and see when I will be going live, I just don't, the vibe on TikTok is not for me. I'm for YouTube, okay? This is where I belong, right over here. If you're new here, stay for a little while in the video, okay? Hear me out. If you vibe with the content, if you're vibing, so you need to be subscribing. Oh yeah. Wow, bitch. Just to let you know too, my channel is a choice. Okay, you know what I'm saying. It's definitely a little bit of a circus in here. I have a community of wonderful people. I love my community here on YouTube. I couldn't complain ever. I have so many wonderful people. I mean, I could call you all out. I do have to call out someone, though. I'm sorry, I gotta do it. Now, here's a picture right here. All the dental stuff that she sent me. And she knows I got, the dry mouth problem from my medications. I feel so happy, you guys. Presents are so much fun. Anyway, and then she also went on my wish list, which is in the description below. If you ever feel that you're a little bit generous. No, I'm kidding. You don't have to do shit. No. I don't like being like that. Nobody has to ever do anything. Just be here. Just watch. Share the love. You know what I'm saying? I don't require anybody to do stuff like this, but it is amazing when it happens. I get so excited because this is one of the things I super duper wanted. It was the first thing I went for. Oh my God, I love this. I love it. Okay, I'll stop. Jojo, for sure, you are the bestest ever. You and Bubbles and Bobby J, MK Slay, and Shady's Baby. I love. Doobs, Elmo. Sorry. There's just so many of you in my community that I just adore. And I am so grateful and so blessed. And I'll shut up now and stop being so mushy. And then she also did get me this coloring book. I love coloring. So, that's awesome. I'll probably do it in one of my TikTok lives. And this is I wanted this for my script writing because I write my scripts and stuff like that, and it's just so awesome because it's a lot of pages, so it'll be a lot of scripts. And it's so excited, but so excited, so excited. Anyway, okay. Jojo, thank you so much for the gifts. As you can see, I am very, very happy, and I feel really, really blessed, and I love you with all my heart. Mwah. Mwah. Jojo is my bestest forever. Let's get to the video. Jojo, I love you so much. You're the bestest in the world, and I cannot wait to do junk channels and stuff. We're gonna be so much fun. So much fun. I get a little bit happy, and I've been able to move more because of all the weight loss. I want to talk about what makes me believe that Gypsy Rose will reoffend. And I used to be like, oh, I don't know, maybe she will. But now that those FOIAs have come out, now it's like just waiting until when it's going to happen, because it's going to happen again. Trust you me, something will happen. My first point to make is that her level of manipulations is just out of this world. It's like her ability to manipulate is as bad as like Charles Manson when he manipulated. I mean, it's just like it's so easy for her to manipulate, just like it was for Charles Manson to manipulate. You know what I'm saying? And I believe wholeheartedly that's exactly why Nina calls her, Gypsy Rose Manson, because yeah, that's very true. Now, I want to show you something, and it might seem like it's silly or goofy or even petty to even show it, but at the same time, it just, when you can manipulate someone like that, you are so in tune with your ability to manipulate that it comes out naturally, even in small, innocent situations like this, where it just comes right out, and it's like not even a needed response. I mean, it didn't need to be said, and then you're going to choose to do that on live. Why? So that other people will start asking him why you're not going to get married, and then pressure him. Is that what you want? Is for him to feel like he's pressured into marrying you, Gypsy Rose? Because then you're going to have a terrible relationship. I did that when I first got married, and I tell you what, they're not going to love you. If they don't love you now, they won't love you then. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous. He's not going to want to feel pressured into marrying you, Gypsy Rose. He's just going to resent you then. And look at what you're doing. You're trying to manipulate him into feeling guilty so that he feels pressured into asking for your goofy little hand in marriage. The fuck, dude? Do you ever stop? No, I don't think so. I think you're 24/7 master manipulative things just running through your head constantly. I'm going to call you Eminem. That's it. Gypsy Rose is now Eminem. Master manipulator. That's it. That's it, bitch.
I saw something very interesting, and I want to show you, just in case you might have missed it. Before I start, pay attention to the comments.
That's really a big part of what we do. It's a very big part of what we do. There's no preparation in our class that you can take.
I love that you're happy.
Prepare yourself for the confinement of prison.
Your happiness.
But I feel like you were a prisoner before becoming a state-sanctioned prisoner. How did that transition affect you?
Not for me in particular. Not like the chief is incarcerated, so I didn't have the simple freedoms of life for that. The biggest thing for people when they get incarcerated is they miss the simple things, and they're like, I miss driving my car, I miss this, I miss that. No, I didn't have that. So I didn't have a form of reference of a normal life where I went. Thank you for the experience was that prison was better than my life from before. Because I was able to at least have getting married? No. In small doses. It was still confined and restricted, but it was better than.
So if you were paying attention like I was paying attention, nobody asked in the comments if they were getting married. I made sure to look at the previous comments for at least a minute before she ever asked that question because I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss it. I slowed it down several times. Nobody asked that question. She asked that question because she wanted to see what Ken was going to say. Little things like this can be very irritating for a guy, especially when you're in a very new relationship. Guys do not want to feel pressured into getting married, and this seems like a constant theme with Gypsy, wanting to get married, thinking that marriage is some sort of a fairy tale. But the way that she played it off by pretending that somebody was asking that question in the comments, that's manipulation. And those are the things that I continue to point out in her behavior. She is very calculated, very cunning, very manipulative. She wants...
When you get a nickname from me, that's it, Eminem. It's over. When you have, like, this person had must have a very investigative brain like I do to look through the comments at that time and even notice that nobody even asked that question. So good job to this TikTok comment. I think we can do the rest of the video like this. I had to turn on the lights because I can't see what the hell I'm trying to, look at my notes and I can't even read it. Sorry, I'm just saying I needed to have the light on. Clearly, she's very meticulous, too. Just to, I bet you, she thinks of these little stupid things and actually plans them to happen. And then I want to ask you guys a question, because the answer to this question is crazy. Was it really Dee Dee that was conning the doctors about Gypsy Rose and her inability to walk? Was she also manipulating the media by chance? Could she have been manipulated maybe as well? And then wouldn't that make Gypsy Rose the ringleader of all of this? It seems like supposedly she was having surgery and she went into a seizure. And the doctors didn't know if she would ever get feeling back in her legs because she became paralyzed. And then her legs started to slowly gain feeling back, but she didn't want to tell her mother or anybody that she had feeling back in her legs. So she just played this game in the wheelchair and manipulated everybody at a young age. Do you think maybe Gypsy Rose could do that?
2014, Gypsy showed Nicholas how she could stand and walk. In that video, Gypsy explains that when she was 6 years old, she went into the hospital. And during surgery, the doctor stated that she had a seizure and was paralyzed. The doctors didn't know if it was only temporary. At some point, she started getting feeling and tingling back in her legs. Gypsy was young and decided to keep it to herself. Gypsy kept it from her mom because she was afraid that her mom would stop loving her. So she kept it to herself until 2011, when she rebelled and ran away from home. Gypsy said that explaining it to her friends that she could walk would be way too hard. Gypsy said she would like for people to know the truth. It felt that she would lose a lot of friends if she told them. I don't know about you all, but this tells me that what I thought from the very beginning was absolutely true. It was Gypsy giving her symptoms. It was Gypsy telling both her mother and those doctors, in my opinion, what was wrong with her, that she couldn't walk, that she had all of this, all for the attention. Are y'all seeing it? Those were Gypsy's own words. So make it make sense. It had to have been Gypsy that was relaying her symptoms to Dee Dee, who then relayed it to the doctors. All of the lies, all of the symptoms came from Gypsy, in my opinion. Leave a comment and let me know what y'all think. In a video dated May 26, 2014, Gypsy showed Nicholas how she could stand and walk. In that video, Gypsy explains that when she was 6 years old, she went into the hospital, and during surgery, the doctor stated that she had a seizure and was paralyzed. The doctors didn't know if it was only temporary. At some point, she started getting feeling and tingling back in her legs. Gypsy was young and decided to keep it to herself. Gypsy kept it from her mom because she was afraid that her mom would stop loving her. So she kept it to herself until 2011, when she rebelled and ran away from home. Gypsy said that explaining it to her friends that she could walk would be way too hard. Gypsy said she would like for people to know the truth. It felt that she would lose a lot of friends if she told them. I don't know about you all, but this tells me that what I thought from the very beginning was absolutely true. It was Gypsy giving her symptoms. It was Gypsy telling both her mother and those doctors, in my opinion, what was wrong with her, that she couldn't walk, that she had all of this, all for the attention. Are y'all seeing it? Those were Gypsy's own words. So make it make sense. It had to have been Gypsy that was relaying her symptoms to Dee Dee, who then relayed it to the doctors. All of the lies, all of the symptoms came from Gypsy, in my opinion. Leave a comment and let me know what y'all think.
Things make you go, Yeah. Things make you go. Yeah. I mean, that was a lot of questions. Anyway, sorry about that. But all of the answers to those questions, though, turns this whole case completely upside down. All of the lies were then told to her mother, even when she literally started to gain feeling back in her legs. She didn't tell her mom. She didn't tell the doctor. She left it as it was because she claims that her mother would not love her anymore if she got feeling back in her legs. Now, was that because she knew that her mother was getting all of these like donations and shit like that because of her being in the wheelchair and sick and everything else? Did she think that, this is all such a fucking mess, dude. It's every time you turn around, when you think that something that you said would never happen, and you'd be like, that's far-fetched. That's a reach. It might not be, because I've said things that have already happened, and I thought they were going to be a reach. And here we are, talking about it. Son of a bitch. And Dee Dee was relaying the messages to the doctors as Gypsy Rose was, telling her what her symptoms were still. And so Dee Dee was just doing what she thought was right by her daughter. And of course, Gypsy Rose has turned that whole story upside down, right? It's just wild to me what's going on. She kept up this secret about her freaking legs being paralyzed until she ran away in 2011 to go and see her weirdo boyfriend, Dan Glidewell or whatever. Oh, it's just so insane to me. And it's funny to me, they found out, now I have a theory, okay? Now they found out about the microdeletion also in 2011. Now I was wondering if maybe she ran away from home over to Dan's house because of them discovering the microdeletion, and maybe it was because she knew then that all of what she was lying about was going to come out, because they were going to then figure out, it's because of this with the microdeletion or whatever the case may be, and then they're going to start curing the problem, and then she's not going to have the ability to exploit herself or whatever. I don't know, maybe that's a reach for me right now in my theory, but then again, everything I've said before I thought was a reach has been coming true. So maybe I am a prophet of the Gypsy Rose. Maybe I am. Wow, that could be you. You never know. Never know. Then it's like, would she lose her ability to grift then from society? Because then everybody would know what exactly she had and what exactly the symptoms and everything should be, instead of just trying to figure something out by trying everything under the sun and her seeming more sick than she really was. I don't know. And she's slowly but surely manipulating her audience. I mean, just think about it. I mean, she's watching and reacting to, or she's like watching herself on her TV show in a live on TikTok. Like, why are you watching your show on live in the first place? What, so we can watch you react to yourself? You were there. You know what the fuck happened. Why do you gotta watch it? You're so fucking weird. That's just weird.
Do you know what moving the goalpost means? This is something that narcissists and people who use manipulation tactics use a lot. Narcissists usually move the goalpost so gradually that you don't even recognize that it's happening. And they use manipulation tactics to try to make it seem like their behavior is reasonable and you're the one unreasonable for questioning what it is that they're doing. Gradually shifting is what Gypsy has been doing for the last month when it comes to her daughter. First, she started showing pictures of baby clothes, then posting her arm, then last night, full on face. And this is because she knows that she's already said, I'm not going to show my daughter online. And then it went from not showing her online to not showing her face. And now she's shown her face as well. And then there's people basically excusing her behavior. It's because she has gradually shifted and they're making excuses for her because they don't even recognize that they're being manipulated by her. So what happened? She will start to gaslight and say, oh, it was an accident. I'm sorry, ma'am. But if you are sticking to your word and you're not showing your daughter online, you're not going to go live when your child is awake. You're going to wait until your child is asleep so that you can go live. She wanted everyone to see her, the baby, and Ken all together, sitting together like a family. And everyone excusing her behavior and justifying her actions. Yeah, you guys are the problem. You guys are enabling her manipulation and you don't even recognize what's happening. The next thing that's gonna come is her justifying this accidental face showing. She might say something like, oh, well, I said I wasn't gonna show her in the media and I haven't given the media any pictures. Like, honey, media is media, whether it's social media or television media or print media, it's all media. And then she will blame shift and act like we're the ones with the problem for calling her out on her manipulative behavior. Then after the blame shifting, she will go back into her charm and manipulation. And because she constantly is shifting her stance on showing her, not showing her, showing her arms, not showing her face, only showing her from the side, only showing her from the back, this keeps you in constant chaos and in confusion. And that's how manipulation works when you are changing the goalposts over time. Before you know it, the original boundary is totally gone. And if you bring it up, even Ken, because Ken was the one who said, well, if she starts to use this baby for monetary gain, or we start noticing that she's exploiting the child, you know, they're going to cut it off or whatever. But she has slowly started to do it. So unless he's really paying attention, he's not going to catch on to the gradual shift and the moving the goalpost. And this is why it's really important for somebody on the outside to be paying attention to Gypsy's behavior, because sometimes the people closest to you are able to manipulate you the most because you don't even recognize that it's happening when it's happening. And she's very good at.
And then it's like she's making sure that people are clear on the reasoning of behind what's said, in the show about everything. So she can make sure she controls the narrative still, and she can tell you what something actually meant or whatever. This is just her trying to have some type of control in the situation. Now that the show's over, she still has to try to control the narrative because she's not quite sure how Lifetime was going to spin it. So she's got to watch it so that she can say, oh, wait, this is why this happened. Oh, this is why this happened, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's why. It's such a narcissistic thing to do. Trust you me, that is the biggest narcissistic thing to do. I would never, ever. Yeah, master manipulators try to control everything. And manipulation and control kind of go hand in hand. Especially with master manipulators. They have to make sure they are in control at all times. So that they can fully, puppeteer everyone, if you will. And she will make sure that she eliminates anything in her way. Oh, anyone, I should say. I think, and that's another reason that I think she will reoffend. I really fucking do, because I do believe that she cannot handle certain, states of mind, certain emotions and things like that. And I think honestly, she should have gotten the fucking death penalty, if you ask me. She'll have to realize, though, if he leaves, so does the baby. And I don't see them lasting as a couple. I also don't know if I see him being very... Because I really think she's going to mess up. I really do. I don't want her to. But I have a feeling she's going to do some shit that's going to make Ken leave. And Ken's going to find some other place to go with the baby. And she's going to be shit out of fucking luck. Because ain't nobody going to have no sympathy for her either. Hopefully. Her narcissistic personality is what drives people away from her in the first place. She thinks she's, entitled to do whatever she wants and say whatever she wants. But in reality, she needs to have respect for those around her. And people, they're nice to her, the ones that are around her, because, make that mighty dollar work for you. But at the same time, Gypsy Rose is no prize. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional, so don't come at me about anything. But I do see what's going on. I do look at the situation as a whole, and I have had studies. So in my fucking opinion, I believe that her narcissistic personality pushes people away. My point is that I can put two and two together. And that gives me the answer I need to explain her behavior. And I honestly was traumatized and verbally and physically fucking abused for many years by a master fucking manipulator. I know how they work. I definitely do. I was married to this narcissistic asshole for a long time, and I'm so glad, to be away. he's the one also that physically and mentally abused me for years. Now I have like CPTSD, I have BPD, like just extreme anxieties. I get paranoid all the time. I'm always looking over my shoulder type thing. And it's been years since I've been with him, and I still have the reactions as if he's around. And it's crazy. I hate it. And that's another reason why I'm always saying I'm sorry. And CPTSD is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a mental health condition that can develop after prolonged or repeated trauma. So I am really messed up from abuse from little tiny child all the way till now. And I'm really messed up from his. But we won't get into that. All stemming from interactions with a narcissistic for prolonged periods. Now, it's hard to deal with them for a long period of time. They are not quite the person that you want to hate. And they're kind of like the one you want to hurry up and get rid of. And that's how people felt about him all the time. I would bring him to my family's house. The same shit would happen with him. Narcissists find a way to make themselves a victim no matter what. Thus, turning you into the villain all the time. You know, narcissists take every situation and just flip it around. All of a sudden, you're feeling bad and saying sorry when ultimately it should have been them doing that and saying that to you, you know? So, it's like I keep saying, when the manipulation comes into play, they are so good at manipulating the actual victim and anyone else involved that you even begin to like question your own reality. Like, did I do that? And you didn't do anything. But the master manipulator will twist your brain up so tight that you don't know right from wrong and you don't know what's going on. I've had it happen to me, I'm telling you what. I go into my sister's room crying because of something she did to me, and then she ends up crying, and I end up standing there telling her I'm sorry. What the fuck happened? Are you serious? No, we're not doing that shit no more. Mm-mm. You know, here's what my thoughts are. My opinions, if you will. So, calm your tits and listen, Linda. Okay? I believe that one day Ken and his mother are going to, if they haven't already, plan a move away from Gypsy. He's going to play it slick, though, and he's got to keep it under wraps so that she doesn't find out. Now, this is not something that I've been told. This is what I speculate, my opinion. So don't go running around being like, Ken's leaving Gypsy, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's what I think. It's what I predict to happen. I believe this is what exactly will happen. But he's got to be super strategic about his plan in doing this. Why? Because he lives with a massive manipulator. And she's small. She can get into small spots. And you know what will happen if she finds out? And Raina will help her son no matter what. She's not going to worry about Gypsy if Ken says, I'm done. She's going to go with Ken. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like we have to think, well, would Raina do that? Yes, she most definitely would. And he can go to the courts and tell the courts that he's afraid that Gypsy Rose will do something to the baby because of her crime. I had that happen when I was with my abusive ex-husband. His mother was doing some bad things, and I was afraid for the kids. So when we went to court, I requested that if he had any kind of visitation rights, that he make sure that my children were nowhere near his mother at the time. And the judge granted that order. And in fact, he violated it over and over and over again. But I was, clearly pissed. But at the same time, I know you can do that. Now, I don't know if he would, you know what I'm saying? Or if that's even something you can do in Louisiana. But I know that I did it here. I believe they'd grant him full custody at that point if he brought that up too. He could clearly claim that he's afraid and he's really scared something might happen, yada yada. The courts will understand, because that's a crazy fucking thing to have on your record. That's not something. It's not like you drove on a suspended license, Gypsy Rose. And I believe that if he petitions the court that he wants to move out of state, he would fully be able to do that as well, I believe. And she would have to make arrangements to go and see the baby certain times of the year or whatever like that. And I believe that's probably the best bet for this child. And the probability of that actually happening is pretty high if he did try to do those things. So Gypsy doesn't have the upper hand in this situation whatsoever, even though she thinks she does. And you know what, Gypsy Rose? All I have to say to you in this conclusion is karma's a bitch, isn't she? So tell me what your thoughts are below in the comments. Become a member if you want to see members only live content and videos a day early if I remember to do it. Oh, but let's chat about this in the comments and in the messages. I will get to everything. I don't know what to do. I get so confused and I forget stuff. Just never mind. But I'll figure it out. But I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video. Also, subscribe to my second channel. I got to get my vlog posted, I promise. I just had a lot going on. I haven't gotten to adding the last little bit of touches because I want it to be nice. I'm getting a little over OCD on it, I think. Anyways, I'll probably have it posted before I even have this one posted. So whatever. Okay, I love you guys.